right, guys, welcome back to Kamisha Reviews. We are here again with another comedy conversation with somebody I really am so excited to have on. We got the girl, the queen of all the things. Coco Brown is in the building. Yes, she is all the things. Yes,
Hey, what's
hilarious
up,
as
girl?
well. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. How are you there?
I'm good. I'm good. In spite of everything I've been through,
Yes.
I am still standing. I have realized that I'm more than strong. I'm resilient, so
Mm,
I'm good. I'm
yes,
good.
ma'am. Period. I want to really talk to you about, 'cause I talked to Hope Flood about this, as far as women being in the game. I seem like men are coming forward. You got the Cat Williams shutting down the entire world and other things. But the women have been doing it. And as far as comedy, watching black women of comedy, I feel like you guys really should get a shine. I'm not saying the men shouldn't. I'm not saying that, but it's like they're coming forward. That's cool. But I know y'all journey is different from theirs, and I wish we could hear more from you guys. Can you briefly tell me how you got into comedy? Let's start with that.
Actually, a friend of mine got me in this business. We went to college together, and he always thought I was funny. We hung together. We're still good friends to this very day. And he actually plotted behind me. There was a gentleman who owned a comedy club. If you guys are familiar with Chris Paul, they used to be on the Tom
Hmm.
Joyner Morning Show
Yes.
with Huggy Lowdown. Him and his business partner, Pop Thomas, had a comedy club in Maryland back in the day. And my friend called me one day out the blue. I'm working corporate America, actually working for Ringling Brothers. I really did work
Mm.
for the circus. And he
Wow.
called me and said, "You want to go to a barbecue with me?" I said, "Sure." So I went. It was happened to be at Chris Paul's house. And I'm just being me. I didn't know I was auditioning. I had no idea because
Hmm.
apparently he had told Pop Thomas because he was saying, "Man, I wish we." He said him and Pop had this conversation about it. They wish they could find more funnier, funny women in the city.
Okay.
Because at
Okay.
the time this was like Northern Virginia, Maryland,
Hmm.
D.C.
Hmm.
And he told him about me. He said, "Well, bring him to the barbecue." I had no idea I was auditioning. I just went and was me. And by the end of the night, he was like, "You ever thought about doing stand up? Come by my
Hmm.
open mic." And the
Hmm.
rest been history.
Wow, that is such a blessing. You've done more than just comedy. You've been on TV. You've done movies. You really have just,
Mhm,
you're a jack of all trades as far as like out there. You have all
mhm,
the elements of being just this mega superstar. I want to get into as far as being a woman in comedy and being on the road and all the things. I know it's
mhm.
been a positive and negative experience. Can you tell me just how you feel about being a woman on the road? I want to hear about that.
I have been blessed to the degree that, of course, I was tried in the beginning of my
Mm,
career because I was a
mm.
female. I was fresh meat. I was fresh
Right.
fish. You know what
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying?
Gotcha.
But I had some great male comics who really took me under their wing, who are still my
Mentors.
dear
Gotcha. Mm.
friends, mentors. I always say I was raised by wolves in this business. I
Mm.
wasn't raised to be just a cute female on stage showing my titties. Excuse my French.
Now you
They
love
made
it.
me they made me step up and be just as funny, if not funnier than them.
Mm.
They put me in positions that tested me constantly. They
Mm.
didn't let me rely on the fact that I had a big chest or I was pretty or whatever. They made me say, "You want to be one of us, you gonna be one of us. You're not gonna get away with it just because you're cute."
Mm.
And they taught me the game. They told me they said, don't sleep with these cats. Don't be out here, letting them convince you to give up some booty for some stage time. They were very protective of me.
Mm.
And I'm grateful to that because they still are to this day. So um, I know a lot of females that, and I actually had this conversation with a young female comic last night. She
Okay.
said, what's some advice you could give me? And I said, make it on your feet, not your knees or your back
Hmm.
because you want to be respected. I want to be sitting in a car full of comics and hear about how funny you are, not how good your coochie is.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. That's a world
So,
ride.
and that's real talk. So it's
Yes.
like I'm just grateful that I had brothers in this game that taught me the game. They didn't raise me to be a female comic. They raised me to be a comedian.
Period. Period.
Period.
Ooh. Oh, I love
Period.
it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That can be useful even in the blogging business, acting. That can go with anything. I love it because that's actually a true
Mhm.
statement. So with Cat Williams coming on the Shay Shay show and blowing up the things, and I've said this to everybody, people so late to comedy, like it's just now, so whatever. I said, y'all late, it's been like this. It's been funny, it's been whatever. What was your take on it? Sitting back watching this all happen, like y'all saying something this old. So I want to hear your
Well,
opinion
I
about
mean,
that.
honestly, yeah, because if you're in the fraternity,
Right.
sorority, secret group that called Black Stand Up Comedy. This was not new to any of us.
Right.
The people that were acting like it was new are probably not in the industry, or they're very new to the industry.
Gotcha.
Cat has always been no filter. Cat has
Mhm.
always been a man that spoke his mind and spoke his truth. So that wasn't new to us. I can't lie, for me personally, that was the one time I was so happy my name was not in the room. Uh baby. I had to say thank you,
She was like, "Thank
Jesus.
God, thank God,
You know, I didn't
Jehovah."
say your name be in rooms you've yet to
Right,
step in. I'm like,
right,
whoo, I'm so
right,
glad my
right.
name wasn't in that room.
Ooh, Jesus.
But but a lot of what he said has come to fruition.
Mm,
And we're seeing it now. It's just been put on display. It used to
interesting.
be what we only spoke of in the green room. This used to be
Mm,
green room talk.
gotcha.
Now it's on Front Street, and unfortunately, you have people now who have access to the green room because they're privy to information that we usually only shared amongst ourselves.
Wow. The thing of it is, it's like you guys have been here. Like I said, you got a many comedians out here. You got the Mike Epps to a Corey Holcomb. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? It's like you have controversy,
Hmm.
all different things. It's like I think everybody
Hmm.
has a place in this business. Do you feel that they're
Hmm.
putting you guys in different categories? Look at you see the Mike Epps has a TV show and he's still doing stand up. You guys are
Hmm.
being judged by being called mild. Now, look, I'm just saying there's being a beast and
Mild.
everything. Well, that's the whole thing with Corey Holcomb calling that man mod. I said, Lord Jesus. So that's new to
Well,
me.
my thing is this,
Go ahead.
I've realized that it's a rite of passage to have Corey
Okay.
Holcomb speak ill of you.
Mm.
Me and Corey had beef years ago, and it was a
Okay.
beef that I didn't see coming. I didn't know we had a beef. The next thing I
Right.
know, yo, Corey talking trash about you, and I was like, for real? I just saw him. So,
Right. Right. Wow. Because he do
so
be going
it
in.
was one of those things that I'm realizing now. It's some kind of like rite of passage that if Corey hasn't spoken ill about you, obviously you're not relevant.
Period. Okay. I like how
So
you put that.
obviously, so at this point, I'm like, hey, I'm relevant. Corey talks shit about
Mm-hmm.
me too.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something.
So.
But see, look, now me myself, I've been following your career for a minute. I want to ask you, how was it getting into acting? I know the Tyler Perry
Mhm,
shows and everything else. How did that
mhm.
transition happen from the stand-up to, being on the screen, watching us all the time?
Well, what a lot of people don't know about me is that I've been doing musical theater since I was 10 years old.
Oh, beautiful. Let's go.
My
I
mom
love it.
stuck me in community theater and
Uh,
stuck me. I was doing
Come on, mama.
plays and all that since I was 10 years old. I was a creative child. I was always having
Mm,
like these little plays with my dolls and my friends. I would make them all do plays. I've always been that dramatic little girl, you know what
wow.
I'm saying?
Right.
That was always, very creative. So my mom was like encouraging me. My fifth grade teacher, shout out Miss Sandy Marshall. I always
Hey.
say she's the one who just put that fire in me that I
Hmm.
never knew
Hmm.
would be what I did for a living because she was the first one to put me a lead in a play when I was in the fifth grade, and it went from there. And I did drama all through elementary, middle school, high school, minored in theater in
Mm,
college. But honestly, I never thought this was going to be what I did for a living. And I think that's more so coming from how I was raised in the sense
okay.
that I was raised so traditionally Southern
Hmm.
in terms of I went to charm school, Jack and
Oh,
Jill. I
okay.
was
Wow.
supposed to go and go to a good school, meet a nice young man with good pedigree, get married,
Mm,
have some babies,
okay.
come to my parents house on Sundays after church with our children, like it
Come
was
on, soul
very.
food.
I grew up very, very, I'll keep it 100. Even though my father was blue collar, he was a pipe fitter,
Right.
my mother was a
Right.
school teacher. I
Gotcha.
grew up way more close to the Huxtables than I did good
Same
homes.
here. I
Okay.
get you. I get you. Same here.
So,
Mm,
so for me, I went so left when I told my parents I'm gonna do stand up, even though they were like, well, they put me in this and they, supported my creativity, but they didn't think that that was what, I was gonna end up doing.
right.
So for me, becoming a stand up, I was never afraid of the stage. I'd been on it since I was 10 years old.
Hmm.
So then to, start doing the stand up and learning the business, that's the one thing I did do. I had great mentors from the fabulous Fat Doctor to Tony Woods
Wow.
to,
Ooh.
Talent, JB Smooth. I could
Yeah,
go
oh
down the list of
yes.
the cats
Yes.
who
Yes.
taught me the game and taught me how to be a comedian, not just get up there and talk trash. They taught me the game. And so, because I was a theater kid, it
Mm,
was very easy for me to learn how to take that timing, that delivery, set up punchlines. It was very easy because, I mean, you have to do that when you're on stage
yeah,
in front of people delivering
very
lines.
important. Hmm.
So, transitioning from stand up to acting was just what I was told you're supposed to do. In the era that I was doing stand up, the whole goal of being a stand up was to get discovered, to get a pilot, to get a sitcom, to have your own
Right,
show.
right.
Now that was like the transition. You hone your craft on the East Coast, then you go to the West Coast to get you a deal.
Gotcha.
Okay, a TV deal.
Hmm.
So, and that's, that's before now the internet and all that. When now all you gotta
Right.
do is sit in front of your computer long enough and Hollywood will come get you whether you can
Yep.
act or not.
Make a skit or something. Period.
So exactly, they don't care. They'll get you
Hmm.
acting classes and a coach and all that. Where I came into the game, you had to be trained. You had to have
Mm,
something. You just couldn't
mm.
come in, and looking dead in the camera. You had to
Right.
know something.
Right.
Um, so for me, it was so funny because I had done some bit parts and I had done like Lakeview Terrace and American Carol, some other little movies, little cameos and stuff, but I hadn't done anything major. And I had gotten discouraged and I went back to
Mm.
school. Went to school online and got my master's in education while I was in
Ooh,
LA trying to
let's
figure out
go.
if this is something I want to do for the rest
I
of my
love
life
that.
because
Yes.
I'd always enjoyed, kids. I enjoyed
Right.
educating. So I
Hmm.
said, well,
Hmm.
I'm going to get my master's in education just as a backup plan. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, you get in this business, you can't have a backup plan. And I will say, in my opinion, you're a damn fool if you don't.
Yes.
This business is
Hmm.
too dang fickle.
Hmm.
And the way this cancel culture is set up, you better have a plan B, plan C, plan D. Because I personally don't want the story where I'm living in my car to make it. I don't,
Look, you better tell them
if
again.
I'm broke, I'm dead. If I'm broke, I'm dead. So no.
Yes.
So so I was in the process of applying for jobs to go teach when I got the call
Mm.
about For Better or Worse with Tyler Perry, and that changed the whole course of my life. Where I stayed in the business, and then things began to really thrive for me, and I saw a lot of great roles. John Singleton believed in me. He brought me in for Snowfall. I didn't get it. He
Yeah.
said, well, I got something else for you. That turned into 9 months on a little show called American Crime Story,
Come
People
on
versus
now.
OJ.
Yes.
And then that
Yes.
show
Yes.
led to me
Oh,
playing Carla on 911 because I got me in front of Ryan Murphy. So that led to me playing Carla on 911 for 5 seasons. So, and then The
whew.
Neighborhood, shout out to Cedric Entertainer,
Yeah.
who every time he gets a show, he puts me on it. I love him for that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So it just led to other things, and it's funny because I was just having this conversation with a friend of mine the other day that, I'll be looking at some of these like BET Christmas movies. I'm like, dang, they'll never call me for that. And she said, girl, because you a crossover. They don't, you done did too much white stuff.
Look, look. Not the Chris Tucker thing.
I said, but
You
I'm
know, Chris Tucker
black.
he went over to Jackie Chan. He can't come back to Friday. That's kind of like
Right.
what
You know what I'm
happened.
saying? It's like, I was like, what do you mean I can't do
Wow. Wow. Yeah, the
BET or
9/11.
TV1? What?
I'm not
They
11.
said, well, girl, because
That's one
you
of my favorite
mainstream
characters.
now. I'm mainstream. I can act.
Mm.
Act ain't got no acting ain't got no color.
But,
But
well, no, I
that's
get what you're
but
saying,
yeah,
but
so
I
I
get
mean,
what
I
she's
just
saying. I get what she's saying. You have been not a
Mhm.
911 is one of my mom's favorite characters. I'm telling you, when you was on there, she was so upset. She's like, "Where did she go?" You one of her favorite characters. I mean, she fell off the show anyway. But when I say every
Yeah.
week she has something to say about you, I was like, I like her. So I'll really briefly talk about that. It's a big show, a big network. How was that going to
Mhm.
work every day?
Mhm.
I know it's a blessing. How did that feel?
Well, I didn't go every day. I was heavily reoccurring. I wish to God I could have been a series
Well,
regular because them
okay.
checks hit different. But
Mm,
um, but I was a heavily reoccurring, which was great. It was a great ride. I think that was the show that really made people go, "Oh, she's just not that kind of actress."
gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Because after doing a 6 year, stint with For Better or Worse, people
Yeah.
have a tendency to pigeonhole you. You know what I'm saying? And stereotype you. And they
Mm,
think, oh, that's all you can
right.
do, or, whatever. So I always give honor and glory to the man, John Singleton, because God rest his soul, that man believed in me
Mm.
and he saw that there was more to me than just being somebody's fat, funny sidekick.
Come on now. Come on now.
He
Ooh.
saw more and he told me that he was going to help me and he did. that
Mm,
man kept his word and he did. Because if it wasn't for
that's
him,
beautiful.
I wouldn't have been on, I wouldn't have been on American Crime Story. I wouldn't have gotten in the room for Snowfall, even though I didn't get the role. I wouldn't have
Right.
been on 911 if it wasn't for the door that John Singleton opened for me, because he believed in me and saw more in me than just me being, like I said, somebody's fat, funny sidekick.
Mm,
Um, but I appreciate those roles because to me it showed my range, it showed my versatility, that I am a trained actress. I am not just somebody they found on the internet and said, here's and stuck me in a show because
mm,
I'm popular.
mm.
People hire me because they like what I bring to characters. So I think it gave me
Talent.
some good validity in the business where they saw, okay, we can put her as a battered woman, and we can also put her as the comic relief and everything in between.
Yes, because you can do all of it. You're very talented,
Mhm.
and that your
Thank
your
you.
past is beautiful. Like all the trains you have. Ooh, I love it. I want to ask you about your personal life. You were, of course, trending all over the place about your house
Hmm.
and that situation. That has to be a touchy subject because people go through stuff all the time, but in the
Hmm.
public eye, that's completely
Hmm.
different. How in the world
Hmm.
did you deal with that? That seemed to be such a tough situation.
To be honest with you, I shut the world out for a while.
Mm,
Because I know
mm,
what a vicious, insensitive place social media can be.
yes.
And when
Yeah.
it leaked what Perry did for me, I knew what was about to happen,
Mm,
and it did. The hate,
yeah.
the comments, the bull crap, and I said I'm not dealing with it. And I literally came off social media for about 45 days. The only
Wow.
thing you saw posting on social media was what my assistant was doing to let you know I had shows coming up.
Gotcha.
And I
Wow,
know
people
that could
hate,
be
man.
detrimental to someone in my industry, but I had to say that was the coup de grace. I had already been through losing both my parents back to
Mhm.
back,
Mm.
but then to
Ooh,
turn around and
sorry
lose
about
my
that.
entire home, right after that, it's
Right.
like the devil was trying to take me out,
Mm.
like for real.
Ooh,
But uh, because I shut the world off and dealt with it myself, and went to therapy and had that village that kept me strong and
yeah.
got me through it. I'm saying I'm just grateful. And so when I reemerge back on social media and back out, any negativity that people tried to toss to me, it just bounced off me because I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it was that was a good thing that I feel like Tyler Perry did. People, I didn't see a lot of comments. I saw
Hmm.
positive comments, to be honest. I didn't see a lot of
Yeah,
bad.
it
I
was
just
mostly
saw,
positive,
yeah,
mostly positive. But don't you love how people love to send you the negative ones?
yeah, they do because they mad for whatever
It's
the
like they
reason.
search for them or something. Because
Yes,
what I
yes,
was seeing was very positive, but
me too.
you always got that one person, two people that love to say, screenshot, girl, look what this person, I don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I got you, got you.
But people can be a little asinine,
Yes.
like people were still donating to my GoFundMe, which I didn't even know existed till 2 weeks after the fire. I didn't even know there was
Wow.
a GoFundMe out because my assistant and my brother did it.
Mm.
So I didn't even know there was a GoFundMe out. And people was like, "Well, ain't you got enough money?" And I'm like, "Huh? What do you mean?"
Oh,
I
wow.
I was completely oblivious
Right.
until I was like, "Oh, I got a GoFundMe,"
Mm.
But
People so.
because
Ooh.
I'm such an independent person, I would have
Yes.
never asked. I would never done that. I'd have never done that.
Mm,
I'd have,
mm,
and I dare go sure would have never. I wouldn't have went to Tyler. I wouldn't have went to him. It's like, but people, I realized one big thing is that I'm pretty loved and respected out here in
yes,
these streets. And
yes.
the legacy I was trying to build has already been created.
Ah, come on. That's beautiful.
So I'm
Love
I'm
it.
good. I'm
Yes.
good. You know,
If
it
you don't
had
mind
to
me
happen.
asking.
It
Oh,
had to
sorry.
happen for me to find this out.
Yes. I just want to briefly ask you, how did it get started? I don't remember reading, or do you not want to talk about that? How it actually
I can't
happened?
really talk about it because right
Okay,
now
okay,
it's a
okay.
pending legal situation.
Gotcha,
But
gotcha,
let's just
gotcha.
say, don't leave lit things unattended in your home.
Yeah. Woo.
I'll leave it at
Man,
that. I'll leave it at
well,
that.
I will say that your perseverance and everything that you've done, survival is commendable. And, a lot of us look up to you because when that happened, a lot of it behind the scenes was like, that is such a hard thing. And I see her smiling. That's all I was saying to my girl. We were looking at her, I said, look, she's smiling. She's being positive. She's still doing her grinding, everything else. And even with
I'm
Tyler doing
blessed.
that,
I'm blessed.
you are so blessed.
In the
The
midst
next,
of
I
all
didn't
of
say
this, I
no
am
negative.
so blessed. And I think it would be an insult to the man above if I was
Mm,
to complain or be in a bad mood, because
mm,
how he has blessed me through so many vessels of people some I didn't even realize knew me like that, and
mm.
strangers. I've had people stop me in Walmart. Baby, what's your cash
Oh,
app? I just want to help you,
wow.
baby. Like, Are you kidding me? And it made
Wow.
me realize something. I'm so grateful that my son is seeing this, and I hate that he had to go through this traumatic experience, but he's
Right.
so resilient. That little boy is amazing.
That's beautiful too.
But I'm glad that he's seeing this through his mother, that it does pay to
Mm.
be a good person. That you don't
Ooh,
have to be a cruddy,
powerful.
hateful, spiteful, manipulative, narcissistic butthole to win out here. You can actually plant good seeds and they will return to you tenfold when you need them,
Mm,
because that's what he's seeing. Because every person that is fed into me during this time, all I hear across the board is, you're such a good person, Coco.
mm.
You're such a good person. You're such
I
a good
love it.
person. And that means something.
Yeah,
You know what
it
I'm
does.
saying? Like, and
Mhm.
anybody hating, I guess you didn't get to know me, so you're just going by what you think you know.
And they don't know anything.
So
It's usually somebody
they don't know
already
anything.
they miserable in their own life, to tell you the truth. That's most time
Yeah,
what
and
it
so
is.
I pray for him and keep it moving. But
Hey,
this,
that's
I'm
all you
so
can
glad my
do.
son is seeing that your character and your integrity being stellar is better than your character and your integrity being lacking.
Mm. And he's
If that
probably going.
makes any sense.
That's going to actually make him a better man anyway. When things get really hard for
Hmm.
him, he's gonna be like, "Look, I done been through a lot. You know, say I can handle
Hmm.
this." I want to ask you
Yeah.
just this final question about as far as being rules and regulations and stand up. When
Mm.
Corey Holcomb did kind of come at Donnell Williams, it was a debate back and forth on the internet
You mean
saying Don.
Rollins, Donnell Rollins?
I'm sorry, Donnell Rollins. Sorry, Donnell Rollins saying
Okay.
that
Okay.
he was wrong for coming at Corey in the middle of his act, but saying Corey was wrong.
Oh
Is
yeah, I remember hearing
Yeah,
about that. We're at
right.
the Laugh Factory. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
he was. So I know there's like probably an unspoken rule between you guys. So, on your opinion on that, if somebody's on stage doing something that you don't like, is it wrong to speak in the middle of the act? Is that like an unspoken rule? Like, don't say nothing or come.
Kinda.
Mm,
I
okay.
mean, now you up there saying something about my child.
Okay. Oh,
You talking about something personal I shared with you. Like, I think there are extenuating circumstances
okay.
that I will interrupt your damn show if you out of pocket. I think there are circumstances that require, like, oh, I'm shutting this down. You must
Uh,
think I'm a fool. You must think I'm a punk.
mm,
But I think it requires extenuating circumstances,
okay.
and that's subjective. And that's subjective. You don't know what triggers somebody.
True. True. That makes
So, I
sense.
mean, yeah, that's two grown ass men. And so what happened happened. Anybody that knows, Corey, that's Corey's MO, controversy. Let's start
It
some
is.
track. Let's,
Yeah.
I mean, if he went on there and talked about the Lord for 2 seconds, I'd be like, something wrong with Corey.
Mm. Like,
Let's
what
go check on him. He
happened?
talking about Jesus. He talking about Jesus.
Did he play Black Jesus too? No, I'm just playing. No, he did. I'm just playing.
No, that was the other
I
guy, but
know.
I'm just saying he was
I'm
on
just
that
being
show.
silly.
But I'm saying,
Yeah.
like, that is so his MO to be messy and start controversy and attack people and go after people, that if he was to do anything different, we'd be like, yeah,
Mm,
you know.
gotcha.
But at the
Gotcha.
same token, you don't know what was going on in Donnell's life at that very second that he was triggered by what Corey said. So that's
Okay.
I can't speak for what triggers
No,
anybody.
but that makes sense though. It depends on the circumstance. I didn't think about that as far as what they're saying on
Mhm.
stage that can cause a person to
Yeah.
say something or whatever. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, what do you have got coming up for you? I know you booked and busy. So what's going on with Miss Coco Brown?
Well, right now at this very moment, I'm in Dayton, Ohio. Have one more show, last show tonight here in the Funny Bone. Next week, let me see, Monday night in Atlanta at the Hyatt Regency, I'll be hosting the Stillman College alumni fundraiser. So if you guys want to help a great HBCU come through
Yes.
and support a great cause. And Tuesday through Thursday, I'll be in North Carolina shooting a movie called The Shot, which is based on the final day in the Lorraine Hotel on the day MLK was assassinated.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Then Friday through Sunday,
Mm.
I'm in Richmond, Virginia at the Richmond Funny Bone. So come get some of these laughs. And then the week after that, I don't even know. Just go to my website, y'all. Coca Brown,
I'll have a. Mhm.
COCOA Brown, the number 4life.com. Or you can always just Google me, Coca Brown. Please don't forget that COCOA Brown. And everything Coca Brown that is me will come up and you can find out where I'll be next.
I will have her website and everything in the description once the video drops.
Good,
But I
good.
wanted to say thank you again for coming on, Mama. Golly, man, you are so colorful and you have a past that I didn't even
Mhm.
know about. You're very educated, very talented. your background to
Yes.
me it just really adds and makes sense because your acting chops is everything. I'm just gonna say that. So I love it.
Thank
I
you.
can't wait to see what you have in the future. And again, you went through so much, and to be so
Thank you.
strong, the way you are, I just I just want to say
It's
a
called
lot of blessings.
resilience.
Yes, I
I
see a
tell people I'm
lot
not
of
strong
blessings.
because strong can break. I'm resilient.
Okay, okay, my bad. We'll go with that, mama. And I'm probably gonna steal that from you. I'm probably gonna steal it because I usually use that and been called that. I'm gonna
It'll
steal
be on a
that. I
shirt,
like
so
it.
I'm just saying. Yeah,
All right,
strong can
mama,
break,
y'all.
baby. I'm resilient. That's the
Woo!
difference.
This is
Y'all have a
Commission
good one. Thank
Reviews.
you so much for having me,
Yes,
sister.
ma'am. I appreciate you coming on. Y'all have a great day. Thank you so